chicken. And don't be piggy. Play the cards just right, and you'll win the biggie on Card Shark. And here's the host of Card Shark, Jim Perry.
Thank you, Dan. Oh, you go jogging later? Thank you. Welcome to Card Shark. Nice to have you here, and thank you for joining us. Gene Wood? The opening poem. We'd love to thank Ellen Orr from Kalamazoo, Michigan for sending it in, watching us on WILX TV, Channel 10. Thank you, Ellen, for taking part in the show. And now let's open up the board and get to the cards. Janice and Melinda start loading in the cards, and we'll meet our card sharks. Marcy Morris, our champion. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Jim.
Good to see you again.
It's great to be here.
And for any new viewers, again, won't you remind us about yourself?
I'm Marcy Morris. I come from Panorama City in the San Fernando Valley. On my 65th birthday to celebrate, I drove across country into Montreal, Canada, back, put 8,000 miles on my car, and it was great. And I have a nice deep voice for singing bass and Sweet Adelines.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that with your Sweet Adelines. I want to ask you, though, with all that traveling across the country, would you do that again? Would you
if the gas was lower.
Yeah, that's true. You got to think. Well, of course, you can afford a little gas. I mean, Marcy has won $13,750 in cash.
Yay!
You can still afford some there, Marcy. And Vrenda Kellums is our challenger. Hi, Vrenda. Nice to see you.
Great
and
to be
again,
back.
a little reminder about you.
Well, my name is Vrenda Kellums, and I live in a beautiful small town in Northern California, Etna, where I really love to photograph the area, and especially my little daughter. She's almost a year old now.
Are you a professional photographer?
Oh, no. I've just started. I need to take a lot of classes, but I really enjoy it. It's a fun art.
Now, we talked about your odd name, Vrenda, with a V. I mean, you said it was because everyone in the family had, but you didn't tell me the names of the other children in the family. Why you got Vrenda?
Well, my oldest sister is Vonnie, and the next one is a girl, Valerie, and then my brother Vern, and then I came along 9 years later.
Wasn't much left, so it was Vrenda, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Good to have you
stuck
both
with.
back. You cut the cards at the beginning of the match? Yes. Always like to check that as we get back to business. We play the best 2 games out of 3. As we left off on our last show as time was running out, Vrenda won game number 1, so we've set up for game 2. And we'll start that game with a question to Marcy. Marcy, the United States government is spending over $1 billion to conduct the 1980 census. That's a fact. So we asked 100 people, do you think the government should just skip the census and save the taxpayers the money? How many people think the government should skip the census and save the taxpayers that $1 billion?
Well, it's a lot of money, but if we skipped it, we wouldn't know how many people we had over here. So I think it's going to be... how many would think
how many
we
think
should
we
skip
should
it?
just skip the census?
No, that's going to be a low number. I don't think many people think that we should skip it. I think 20.
20 out of 100. What do you think, Brenda? Higher or lower?
Well, I think that number is going to be higher because if we skip the if we go ahead and take the census, then we have plenty of people and we know who we have, and so I think it's going to be a higher number.
We already know there's a lot of people. So you're saying that more people
We need to know exactly how many to make sure the government
Oh, well, now the
runs
question
all right.
is how many people think the government should skip the census entirely to save the money? She says 20.
I still believe that's going to be higher,
Oh,
a
okay.
higher number.
I was not following you too well there, Brenda, and I never want to misinterpret your answer. Marcy says 20. Brenda says higher. If it is higher, Brenda, you'll play your cards. If not, Marcy plays hers. The actual number of people who think the government should just skip the census and save the taxpayers the money is 47. Brenda's right. It is higher. All righty, we worked that out, and Vrenda came out on top. She starts the game with a king.
Oh, that is a great card. Let's go lower.
Lower than a king.
A 5. Let's go higher.
She's going to risk it higher. It is a 9.
Freeze right there.
Now we move over the freeze bar, protecting that position. Vrenda needs 2 cards to become the new champion. Question to you, Vrenda.
All right.
Our man on the street went to Paris, France, where he asked 100 married Frenchmen, right now, do you have a mistress? How many married Frenchmen admitted they do have a mistress?
Oh, that kind of makes a nice story. You hear about that a lot, but I don't know how true that is. Let's say a low number, around 25.
25 out of 100 say they have a mistress. Marcy?
That's going to be a higher number because those Frenchmen, they like their women. And that's my thought.
With your money, you think you might want to travel to France there, Marcy, or something?
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Okay. So you say higher than that.
That's higher.
The actual number of married Frenchmen who have a mistress is 33. Wow, it is higher. 1 out of every 3. There's got to be a very busy lady over there. Oh, more than one. Oh, I see. Marcy starts off with an ace.
Oh, great card. Lower.
Lower than the ace. An eight.
Freeze.
Freezing on the middle card. Question 3 goes to you, Marcy. 33. My goodness. Marcy, we asked 100 Sunday school teachers. Is it wrong for a woman to marry outside her religion? How many Sunday school teachers said it is wrong for a woman to marry outside of her religion?
In this day and age, we're all believing in the same God. We're just traveling different roads to get there. So, how many
say it's wrong?
That it's wrong for them to marry outside their religion? That wouldn't be too many to think it would be wrong. I think 30.
30 out of 100 Sunday school teachers say that's wrong, Brenda.
I really agree with Marcy's logic. I think that we all believe in the same God, and it doesn't really matter what title you go under, and I think it's going to be even lower than that.
Even lower than that?
Yes.
And the actual number of Sunday school teachers who said it's wrong for a woman to marry a man outside her religion is 28, just a little lower. Brenda. And Brenda, you're looking at an 9.
I would love to change that card.
Winning the question, you can change it. A 10, a little better.
Well, let's go lower with the 10.
Lower than a 10. Yes, a 5.
Let's go higher.
If this is higher, we have a new champion for the win. Yes, Brenda wins it. And Marcy, we have to say goodbye. You have been a delight.
It's been beautiful. Everyone here is just lovely.
Thank you. And $13,750 has been a very worthwhile stay.
It certainly has.
Marcy
Thanks,
Mars.
everyone.
Thank you, Marcy. Brenda, come on down here. Congratulations. And our new champion, Brenda Kellums, goes for the big money with the money cards right after this.
I am shocked that Marcy has been dethroned.
Aww.
Marcy was a great champ. We'll go down
Adorable.
Card Shark's history as one of the great champs of all time.
Oh, we'll miss Marcy.
Yes, we will.
But we like Brenda, too. Brenda, excuse me.
Brenda.
Brenda. See, we watch here at GSN Live.
Yes, we do. This Thursday, Pat Sajak will be here. He'll be dropping by. He'll share some stories about Wheel of Fortune with us. I actually worked with Pat.
Oh, you did?
He did local news here in Los Angeles before he got the Wheel.
Thank you.
Did you cut the money card?
You bet.
All right, good luck. Let's top off a good win right now. Let's get over there and play those money cards. Come on, Brenda. See if we can buy some photographic equipment for you, all right?
Love it.
$200 of new money and 3 cards to bet as you will on the bottom line. As you know, when you move up to the second level, we add another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Your minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet where you must risk at least half the money. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here's $200. And remember, too, that you can change the base card on each level if you need to.
Okay.
Thank you, Melinda. We'll start Brenda with 200 and a jack.
Okay, a jack. I'm going to change that card.
Kind of a borderline card. Let's see if she makes a good change. Yes, an ace.
All right, we're going to go all of it lower.
Whole thing, $200 that this card is lower than an ace. It is with a 6.
Okay, let's go $100 higher than the 6.
$100 higher than a 6. Right again with a 10 up to 500.
A 10. I'll bet $100 lower.
$100 lower than a 10. Oh, no. Another 10. But not too bad on this line with $400. And as we move up the 10, we give you the other 200. You have 600.
I do want to change that card.
Made a great change before. Let's do it again. A 2. You did it again.
Beautiful. All of it higher.
All or nothing for $1,200. Higher than a 2. Yes, with a jack.
Oh, very good.
1,200.
Okay. Let's go $600 lower.
Oh, a big bet on a jack. We've only seen the 1 ace, and she's going half of it. I hope you're right. $600 lower than a jack. Yes! 1,800 and a 5.
Okay. Let's go $500 higher.
$500 higher than a 5. Right again! $2,300, and we move up a not-so-good card.
Let's change it, please.
You've made 2 great changes. Let's do it a 3rd time for the big bet. A king. Great
All
card.
right. I'm going to go, what should I do? $2,000 lower.
$2,000.
lower.
Big bet.
$2,000.
$2,000 that this card is lower than a king, and it is $4,300. 200 in the game. That's a nice round $4,500, Brenda. Way to go. Congratulations. Think you'd win that much when you came down here?
Oh, I was just hoping.
$4,500 for Vrenda Kellums and a new challenger to meet her right after this. Congratulations. Okay. New challenger on Card Shark. Mike Connor. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Jim.
Nice to have you here. Good. Why don't you tell us about you?
I'm Mike Connor. I'm an insurance agent. I live in Redondo Beach, and I'm interested in jogging and Creole cooking.
Creole cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you make the gumbo and things?
Yes, I sure do, and jambalaya, too.
Oh, you got to get together with our dresser back there, Garland, who also cooks great stuff. Like, where are you from, New Orleans originally?
Originally from New Orleans, right? I live in Redondo Beach, beautiful Redondo.
Yeah, stick it up for the... Do I hear some people out there cheering you on? You have some friends here with you?
One or two, I believe, Jim.
All right, good. Nice to have some people here with you to give you a little boost there, right? You cut the cards.
Yes, I did.
Then here we go. Had to think about that for a moment, right? Good luck. We'll start the best 2 out of 3 with a question to Vrenda, the champion. And Vrenda, we asked 100 psychiatrists. Generally speaking, if a man and a woman make love on their very first date, are they less likely to have a lasting relationship? How many psychiatrists said, yes, a couple who make love on the first date are less likely to have a lasting relationship?
Well, I think that would be a high number because making love on the first date seems to me like they really don't care a lot about to get to know the person. And if you don't know the person, how can you have a lasting relationship? So I think that will be a high number. Let's say 68.
68. Of course, you could say they are definitely getting to know one another, too. Brenda says 68 out of 100 say a couple who make love on the first date are less likely to have a lasting relationship, Mike.
Well, Jim, I don't want to give away too much about myself, but I am single. And from my past...
Oh, we like to know, Mike.
Well, from my past experience, I think that you can get to know people sometimes very quickly, and possibly if you do make love with them on your first date, you can still have a very long-lasting relationship. I believe that number is going to be a little bit lower.
A little lower. Think it's possible. Interesting. The actual number of psychiatrists who said a couple who make love on the first date are less likely to have a lasting relationship is 66 by 2. That's right.
Right.
What I want to know is how come our producer, Jonathan Goodson, was the only one who applauded yay when he went lower there? My goodness. Carol better watch out. All right, Mike will start off the match with a 6.
Let's change that card.
You win the question. You can change it. A 10.
Lower.
Lower than a 10. No, king is not lower. Brenda gets a chance to play. King as well.
King. Oh, that's beautiful. Let's go lower.
Lower than a king. A 9.
Freeze right there.
We'll move over the freeze bar. Janice will fill in the spaces. And the question to you, Mike. Mike, recently researchers at the Texas Department of Highways investigated the possibility of a new fuel source. This is a fact. They wanted to capture cow burps and use them as fuel. Cow burps, not cow chips, cow burps, real burps. That's a fact. So we asked 100 people, do you approve of this use of tax dollars? How many people approve of spending tax dollars to research using cow burps as fuel?
Well, today's inflation with the rising costs in government, that sort of thing, I think people are much more interested in the way the government is spending our money. I don't think that too many of them are going to vote or going to like the idea of the government spending a lot of money on cow burps, even with the shortage of gas that we're having here. I say that's going to be a relatively low number, about 20%.
You know, I thought for a moment he was going to say that with the money that we should investigate every source possible. Of course, I may have given him a good idea with cow chips. Mike says 20 out of 100 people approve of spending tax dollars to research using cow burps.
I agree with his logic that it's even going to be a lower number. It has to be.
So you say lower than that?
Yes.
That's absolutely true. Researchers in Texas are working on that. 20 for Mike, lower for Vrenda. The actual number of people who approve of spending tax dollars to research using cow burps as fuel is 34. Not lower, it's a little higher. Mike, you got it. Good. I still like the cow chip. Mike, you got a 10.
Let's change that card, Jim.
Let's see if he can improve it. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, a king. Let's go lower.
Lower than a king, a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4, a jack.
Lower.
Risking it lower. It is a 2.
Higher.
For the first game of the match. Yes. Mike does it. He turns them all over. And it's game 1 to the challenger. We'll be right back right after this.
Our next game of the day is Alphabet Soup, and you may have that chance to win that incredible trip to St. Lucia, and we love when we send people off.
Cards as we start game 2. First game went to the challenger. Before I start game 2, I would like to know why General Grant's bugle boy said old Jim Perry. I start game 2 with a question to Vrenda. Vrenda, we asked 100 elementary school teachers, do children today get too little discipline at home? How many elementary school teachers agreed today's children do get too little discipline at home?
Well, I was going to go into the elementary school teaching field, and so I do know quite a few friends that are in that field, and I really do think that a lot of them think that there's not enough discipline in the home. The parents want the school to do it, but it needs to be done at the home.
How many feel there's too little?
I think that's going to be a high number. I would say 70.
70 out of 100 feel that. Mike, what do you think?
I've got a good close friend of mine who is an elementary school teacher, and I agree with Vrenda that it is a very high number. I believe it's even going to be a little bit higher.
Even higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of elementary school teachers who said children today get too little discipline at home is 90. 9 out of every 10, 90 out of 100. Wow. Mike, you start off the game with a jack.
I'll play. Let's go lower.
Going to play the jack lower. It is a 9.
Freeze.
Mike gets a 1-card advantage. It keeps Vrenda away from her cards. And Mike, the question to you. Mike, we asked 100 professional striptease dancers. Which makes you more nervous, speaking before a crowd or stripping before a crowd? How many strippers said speaking before a crowd makes them more nervous?
I haven't ever had any experience stripping before a crowd, but I know it's very difficult for me to speak before this crowd. I think that the strippers are going to say...
Well, listen, if it would make you comfortable, Mike, I mean, we're among How many strippers say speaking before a crowd makes them more nervous?
I think the majority of them are going to say that. I would say at least 75.
75 out of 100 feel that way, Vrenda. What do you think?
I agree with that reasoning. I think if they're a stripper, that's what they're comfortable doing. So I think it is going to be a high number, even higher than that.
Even higher than that? The actual number of strippers who said speaking before a crowd makes them more nervous is 87. It is higher. Brenda's right. And Vrenda, you start off this game with an 8.
Let's change that card,
Trying to
please.
get rid of that middle card? Yes, a better change.
All right, let's go lower.
Lower than a jack. A 2.
Higher.
Higher than the 2. It's 7.
Freeze.
And now it's Vrenda with a 1-card advantage. And question 3 goes to you, Vrenda.
All right.
We surveyed 100 prison inmates. These are all men who are currently serving time in San Quentin prison. And we asked them, are you innocent of the crime you were convicted of? How many inmates claimed they are innocent?
Well, I don't know if a lot of them would claim they're innocent or not. I think they might think that, but I don't know if
How many said to us they were innocent?
I think that's going to be a low number, about 27.
27 out of 100 say they were innocent of the crime they were convicted of, Mike.
You know, they're pretty bad guys in prison, and I think that a lot of people can rationalize almost anything. I think that it's going to be a higher number than that.
Higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of inmates who claim they are innocent is 30. It is a little higher. Mike is right. Mike, we left off with a 9.
Let's change that card, Jim.
Changing the 9. An ace.
Let's go lower.
Lower than the ace. A 4.
Let's go higher.
Higher than a 4. A 5.
Let's go higher.
We have a new champion if it's higher, and we do. Mike wins it. So, a new champion. Vrenda, we have to say goodbye, but $4,500. Thank you, Vrenda. Vrenda Kellens. Come on out here, Mike. Congratulations. You know, you start slow, but when you get rolling, you go right across the board.
I sure try.
I hope Mike's going to do the same thing with the money cards. He's already $200 richer. We'll be back with Mike Connor, our champion, right after this. There you go. After you cut them, yes?
Yes, I sure
We
have,
dealt
Jim.
them out in front of our studio audience. Good luck, Mike. And here's $200.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can finish off the day by giving away a bundle here, Mike. We're rooting for you. 200 and a jack. Do you want it?
I'll take it. Lower.
How much money?
$100.
$100. He's going to play the jack lower? No. All right, you're down to 100, but you've got a great card.
$100 higher.
Higher?
I mean,
Okay.
lower.
No.
Excuse me.
Hang in there, Mike.
Okay.
Come on. Let's get back to 200. Lower. Okay, you're back to the 200 mark with a queen.
$150 lower.
$150 lower than a queen. Yes, with a 4.
Okay.
$350. We move up the 4. We'll give you the other 200. You have $550.
All right, I'm going to play it. I'm going to go $400 higher.
$400 higher than a 4. Oh, no. Down to 150, and still a good card, the 4.
$100 higher.
Come on, 100 higher than a 4. No. Down to 50. You've got a 3.
$50 higher.
Let's get back to 100. Yes, all right. $100. Come on, we move up the 8. Do you want that?
Let's change that card.
Come on for the big bet. Mike has a 10. Well, you got to bet 50.
I'll have it lower.
Why not? Come on, $200 lower. Oh, no. It had to finish that way.
Easy come, easy go.
But you've got $200 for the game, and most important, Mike is our champion. He'll be the new challenger on our next Card Shark.